Jester, go down to the thread. Hey, Omega.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's heading down to the Big Easy this weekend. For a little bit of old school Southern wrestling.
The Big Easy, you say?
Yeah, apparently. So when I heard this the other day and somebody misspoke, and I just heard Big E, and then I thought, wait a minute, it's just going to be in Big E's backyard or something. But I am super excited for this WrestleMania. Is anybody else excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Anyone?
Bueller. Beacha.
Let's start the show.
Normally this is when music plays.
We kill for muscle things, no laughing louder, baby. If back to wrong, to track down blue. You'll be good at laughing sights if you only listen to. Get serious, get serious, get serious. Enough!
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode number 112 of Ruby Series. My name is Gunnar, and that is Omega BR.
A somewhat clever opening. Might as well be for the biggest show of the year.
And joining us this week is our wonderful technical producer, Mr. Yankum DDS.
Heyo! So I got us broadcasting live on Tama TV, and we have exactly one connected user named Yankum DDS, and I would like to thank him for... Wait a minute. Fuck!
Well, considering the fact that we only launched this maybe 45 minutes previous to what's going on, not terribly surprised. Joining us this week also, and it could be this guy's problem, or this guy's fault rather, the one, the only, the Net Jester.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say, Big Easy, you know I love you. I especially love your chicken from Popeyes.
Alright, and we've lost... we've lost Gunnar. Tonight has not been a great night for technical things. None of them are my fault. But that said, oh hey Gunnar. I totally wasn't about to take over the show in your place. It was Net Jester. It was all his idea.
The slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So let's just do the news.
Let's do it WrestleMania style. Fast and loose.
You mean like Lita's vagina?
Oh, whoa, whoa. I was going to say my love life, but come on.
Tammy.
Okay, Tammy, we can agree on that.
So,
Alright, we're gonna motor through these. Many notable talents were named as attending a WWE tryouts last week, including ACH, Michael Elgin, Rocky Romero, Willie Mack, Roderick Strong, and Kevin Steen, with Strong said to be the strongest candidate. Kind of funny and ironic.
A nice crop of talent. They usually find out within, 4 to 7 weeks if they have interest.
Yeah, pretty much. Willie Mack is somebody I'm cheering for on that list that I haven't seen on the list before.
I don't know any of these guys. I'm going to have to look up my indies again.
I don't know Kevin Steen. That's really sad.
there's no way they're signing Steen. He just doesn't have, the look.
Jesus Christ, this argument.
He's been dropping weight pretty good.
He's actually been going to the gym and stuff, and yeah, dropping weight.
All of my money for a guy who's out there who can do the job, but who looks like a throwback to Haystack Calhoun or Mucka Singh.
Those guys couldn't work either. I'm just saying. Rob Van Dam is scheduled to return after WrestleMania for another run. Jonathan Coachman is close to signing a new deal that would keep him on ESPN, but doing duties likely for the WWE Network. Sting may be joined to WWE due to a single retirement match built over a year, like with Undertaker at WrestleMania 31 in San Francisco.
Aw, I mean, I'd like him to come back, but and do a match with The Undertaker at the next WrestleMania, but only one match? I mean, I'd like to have him in there for a little bit.
Who do you really think that he actually needs to work with?
Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing him just work with somebody like Daniel Bryan or Punk if he ever comes back. I'm just throwing out a fanboyism right there. I know it's probably not going to happen, but still, you kind of geek out when you hear the word Sting in the WWE.
Understandable.
Yeah, it wouldn't be ideal for him to have simply the one match, especially if they try to build it a year in advance, because they're not always great at that. But really, I think both sides could be content with just the fact of him being there in the first place.
No, they're gonna have it, maybe once in a lifetime. But I digress. Coachman coming back is kind of awkward. RVD coming back is pretty cool. Moving on here, AMC announced a pickup option for Billy Corgan's wrestling project, a reality show based on his Resistance Pro promotion out of Chicago.
Now this news, when I heard it, I was all a-gaga about. I like Resistance Pro just because it's different, and of course Billy Corgan. So what do you think is going to be behind the Resistance Pro Wrestling reality show then?
It's probably just the runnings thereof, and them trying to get to a certain place, and blah 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 blah. Quite similar to the ICW Insane Championship Wrestling documentary I just saw from the BBC, actually, which was a 44-minute piece on Grado and ICW and their giant show that they ran in Glasgow. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, it's AMC, so.
Yeah, they don't have too many duds.
Yeah, you consider that, Resistance Pro isn't necessarily bigger than a lot of notable indies, so it's not like it would be some vanity project.
Alright, moving on here, WWE has reportedly contacted several major names for cameo appearances at WrestleMania, including, quote, every mega draw of the last 3 decades that are alive and available. So essentially, you're going to see Sergeant Slaughter, you're going to see Roddy Piper, you're going to see anybody that's,
Anybody that was on the last old school Raw, basically. And
pretty much.
And that's nice and everything, but I'd like them to bring back a couple of the weirder guys. I would give my left nut to see the return of Head Cheese.
Oh, God.
Yes, Steve Blackman and Al Snow, the incredible twosome.
Yeah, that was a Megatron.
Mick Foley revealed on the Ross Report podcast that a feud with Dean Ambrose was scrapped because his neurologist told him he could never wrestle again, and that Ambrose didn't get his text due to being in the UK, leading to an open blog where he canceled it. So basically, a miscommunication and his neurologist kept that feud from actually happening.
I thought they had cell phones in the UK.
But the problem was the fact that, okay, so this is the story as I understand it. Foley sent the texts, and Dean had his phone off. And because, international rates are so frickin' ridiculous, he kept his phone off until he came back to the States and didn't get his text messages until then, which was probably a week later.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Either way, I think Foley's glad that he wasn't the prevention of Dean's career.
Exactly. A recent Forbes article interview with Vince McMahon noted that WWE stock prices have tripled in the last 6 months, but that revenues have barely budged. The stock eventually dropped a full 15% after it came out. So in other words, the stock's kind of, normal, but the revenues are just, the same old thing. Same old thing. But that's probably due to the WWE Network, and in my opinion, until they get the WWE Network launched in international markets, they're going to have a hard time cracking even on the thing, in my opinion.
The same old thing.
Yeah, they do have a lot of factors coming up that'll sort of affect it. WrestleMania itself being one of them, assuming it goes off without a hitch. Since all this has happened, it's hovered right around $30, so it's still up from what it would be.
Which was $9 January last year. So, still way more than what it was. NJPW has booked a Loser Leaves Town match for April 6th between Prince Devitt and Ryusuke Taguchi, leading to speculation he will head to the WWE and be replaced as a top act in Japan with the phenomenal one AJ Styles. This does not surprise me.
Prince Devitt finally headed towards the WWE, and AJ at NJPW. I'm okay with this.
Could be interesting. I mean, assuming that's actually what happens.
Assuming that's what actually happens, yes. Moving on here one more time. The Tampa Tribune has an interview with Lenny Poffo. Oh boy, here we go. Who claims the bad blood between Randy Savage and Vince McMahon started after Vince refused to put his father in a Legends Battle Royal in 1987 and pushed him to stay behind the mic, leading to Savage going to WCW and the Nacho Man skits, one of which implied Miss Elizabeth had an affair with Hulk Hogan. He reiterated that Randy would only enter the Hall of Fame if he and his father were inducted, but now is open to allowing fans to honor him without it.
Now, what is exactly honor him without it?
Well, basically he's saying that he would be open to the idea of they don't have to induct him and his father in order for Randy to go in, because he knows, that's kind of been, according to him, the main factor in keeping him out of the Hall of Fame, but now he's open to the fact of just inducting Randy, because obviously people want to honor him in that fashion.
Now, mind you, I've never ever seen the Elder Poffo, but we all love Randy, and personal spot.
You're roboting, Net Jester.
Your microphone's cutting out, bud. I think at the end of the day, what he's trying to say is that he doesn't know Angelo Poffo, but he would like to see all the Poffos go in just the way that Randy would want. I would have to agree, and also the heat stems from the fact that he banged Stephanie. But that is a rumor, and that is not a part of this.
I thought that was against kayfabe.
Alright, last little bit here. Everybody cry. Everybody start crying. Because CM Punk and AJ Lee may be engaged.
Well, I've heard worse things.
Cavorting in a Washington airport. Well, at least that wasn't as bad as the slap that was on Total Divas.
I simply can't believe that he's finally off the market.
I'm not touching that one with a 10 caliber rod. These two, after all that Punk's been through lately, if they want to finally get married and tie the knot, that's great.
Yeah, good for them. I still expect to see Punk back at WrestleMania to cost Daniel Bryan the match. But we're going to get into that in the 15-minute time limit. And I missed. I hit a different button. I'm sorry. 15-minute time limit. We're going to talk about luchadors this week. No, we're talking about WrestleMania and WrestleMania 30 emanating out of New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, New York. What the fuck? And we're going to start here with our predictions for our 4 downs. You can check it out, 4down.org. You can come guess with us and see if you win. You might win a nice Amazon gift card. So, let's get started here. The Tag Team Championships are on the line with the Usos versus Los Matadores, the Real Americans, and Ryback Soul.
Well, I have to say, it's pretty obvious that Los Matadores are going to win the tag teams and go on a year-long reign of glory.
Away, Michael.
I'm just kidding. Probably the Usos retain.
Usos retain. Curtis Axel takes the pin. I think that's going to last about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Tempted to say
Go ahead.
The Real Americans would win just because they've had a little boost in momentum lately, but it doesn't seem like they'll keep them together for long enough.
This sounds interesting, but I'm not looking forward to too much on it. It's just sadly a curtain jerker.
It's exactly what it was a couple years ago when they had like 3 or 4 when they did a quadruple fatal 4-way tag team championship match at WrestleMania. I think Miz and Big Show won that one or something like that. But yeah, such is life. Alright, moving on here, we're going to guess the Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational.
AKA AJ gets screwed and there's no sex involved.
Well, you don't know that.
Exactly. Who do you got?
Wait, so there might be sex involved?
Ooh, now I'm really looking forward to this one.
You know, beforehand
that's
I was
just
like,
it.
fuck this, but now I'm super interested. Please, tell us more, Omega BR.
Well, that's just it. We really don't know what the rules of the Vicky Guerrero Invitational are. Just that AJ will be up against all of the Divas, and there will be one fall to a finish.
One fall, 14 girls.
You do the math,
This-
especially about 14 girls.
This is going to be the biggest clusterfuck in the history of clusterfucks.
To quote JR here, this is going to be bowling shoe ugly, in my opinion. I still have AJ winning.
Well, as someone who's worn an awful lot of bowling shoes in his lifetime, I can agree with that, but I just don't see... It's like with Punk gone, they really want to stick it to him in some way or another, so why not take the title off of AJ?
Well, it's probably her time anyways, and I could see that happening, and I could see, like, a diva doing it. But, okay, so if AJ doesn't win, who do you guys think is going to win?
Well, I would agree with you, Gunnar, but for the fact that it seems like it's kind of AJ's time, just because she's had it for so long. It's WrestleMania, so if I had to guess somebody, I might guess Tamina, sort of giving the knockout blow, but somebody else getting the win, like Naomi, I guess.
Ooh, God. Flavor of the month.
I would kind of be okay with that, as long as it's not... You know who.
Could have been worse. Could be Summer Rae, yeah.
No, I would be actually not as mad. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to jinx it. But you know who I'm talking about.
Here's my winner. Here's my winner. It's going to be Eva Marie.
Fuck you. I hate your guts right now. Let me explain to you why you
In all
are
actuality, I
a
think
moron.
it's Natalia. It's going to be Natalia.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, I
Natalia.
hope so.
With submission.
One can hope.
It's going to be a submission, and it's going to be a shoot submission on Summer Rae. Because, man, Let me tell you something. If you're not watching Total Divas this season, you're missing out, because that little cat fight at the end of episode 3 was something to behold. All right, so from the girls to the guys, the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, aka the 30 spots that nobody else wanted to take. Who's going to win the cup?
My money's on Big E, but it could be Big Show too.
I would be happy with Big E or Big Show, actually.
Thought you absolutely hated Big Show.
No, I love Big Show. I don't like heel Big Show a whole lot, as much as, unless he's, suit Big Show, and then he's fantastic. But when he's allowed to just be him and kind of be a little bit goofy and not have stupid writer comedy, he's really good.
You could go for a cliche answer like Big Show. You could go for, they kind of had a little tease for Rey Mysterio on Raw. I think if they're going to do this, considering they've made kind of a big deal about the fact that the person, this is sort of a big deal and not just, another Battle Royal winner. I think it is going to be somebody a bit younger, somebody who could use the added oomph. So I'm not sure it'll be Big E because he's already title holder right now. And I'm not sure it'll be Show or Mysterio since they're already sort of, veterans and everything.
Do you have any sort of definite prognostication on this?
I can barely remember who's in the match, so
Everyone that's not currently booked.
Like I said, I can barely remember.
Yahoo! There goes Omega BR riding that fence again. Remember to ride it with a saddle or you'll perforate your behind. Yeah!
Net Jester, I will pay you to never do that again.
I'll get back to you.
Jesus Christ. Give me Show if they're going to go with something stereotypical. Give me Ziggler if you're going for, your underdog in this match. And if you're going stupid amounts of underdog, Heath Slater. Because 3MB carrying on that big thing would be really, really funny.
Oh God, I hope they don't go that route.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move on here. We're actually into a match. The Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws. The Suits versus the Shield.
I'm picking the Shield on this one. I don't see them doing anything that would make the Shield look bad right now, because they are really starting to pick up steam.
Yep, definitely. The Hounds of Justice all the way here.
I'm tempted to say the Shield, but this almost seems like one of those matches that, for some dumb reason they just, they just have the good guys lose in the middle of the card. And it seems to happen every year, at least recently. And if they're going to break up the Shield anyway, then,
They might as well have it be caught. Oh, I could see that happening, where instead of actually, having them win, they lose because of their own tomfoolery and whatnot, and at the grandest stage of them all, etc. I have the Shield by Roman Reigns' spear. So there you go. Don't you know?
Alright, let's pick it up here. We got Cena and Bray. That's how I say Bray Wyatt.
Yes, we noticed that. And I thought my bunny cat meme was bad. I think Bray Wyatt may pull an upset over Cena because if we have this, I could see this as the beginnings of an epic feud here. So we're going to have to... Really? I'm serious.
Yeah.
This can be good.
No, here's what happens. Cena is going to get his ass kicked for 13 minutes and 30 seconds. And then for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Cena is going to absolutely destroy everything that has built Wyatt up so far, and then defeat him with like a single AA.
Well, I don't know about epic, but I agree that I think Bray will pull this one out, whether it's through legal means or not. I think, considering Cena's not, this will probably happen in the middle, toward the middle end of the card, and not considering it's not like the main event or anything. I think Cena can afford the loss here, going into Extreme Rules in some kind of spooky horror match.
Yep, Funny Cat hops away with the victory.
Bray Wyatt wins with shenanigans from Harper and Rowan. Whatchamacallit? They abduct Cena, and Cena isn't seen on television for a while. Undertaker and Brock.
Probably the Undertaker.
I don't know, man. I mean, really? You think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Brock's got this one. There's no way they're going to keep the streak going. They have to give it to Brock Lesnar to break. Oh, fuck balls.
Well, I'll say this: if Taker and Lesnar sort of have something of a relationship, whatever it may be, if Taker just feels like he's done, then who knows, really, you know.
Remember, streaking is one of Super Pets.
I don't know what he just... all I got from that was Super Pets.
Well, I did too. So apparently Manchester is a furry over this match. Okay. I got Brock losing to Hell's Gate, actually, and tapping out.
Oh, we haven't seen Hell's Gate in a while.
Oh, gee, I wonder when the last time we saw that. Maybe April when the Shield took Undertaker out, perhaps? Question mark?
Maybe?
There's something like that? I'm just saying.
I'm just wondering, like, how good is this match really going to be?
I actually think it's going to be stellar. And I think Brock is going to hit the shooting star press. Becky's going to go for it again.
I think they're going. I think they're gonna. It's gonna be a match where there's a lot of kind of stalling, but they're gonna do their best to mask it. Kind of like how there's a lot of stalling in like the Rock Cena matches, and it's kind of obvious. But I think they're gonna find better ways to mask it. You know, be it Lesnar, tearing something up, or
For those of you who are following along at home, so we have one title change, and that'll be the Divas title, or at least I do. And
well, there's only 3 title matches on the show.
Oh, that's right.
I feel like...
Moving along, gentlemen.
And we're going to hold off on the Daniel Bryan and Triple H stuff. We're going to go into overtime with that.
Right, so...
Go ahead.
I'm not sure how well they're going to be able to hide the stalling. I mean, it's one thing when you've got somebody like Shawn Michaels or CM Punk or even Triple H. I mean, Triple H gets a lot of shit, but as a performer, he's really like not that bad. But then you've got somebody like Brock in there, and I don't know that he can cover up, the fact that Undertaker is kind of old and broken near as well as those 3 guys could. I don't have high hopes.
Okay, that's good enough. My buzzer sound's missing. Okay, so that's it. That's good enough. So that's it for the 15-minute time limit. We are going to move on to a song? Question mark?
Actually, we've got 15 minutes left in the broadcast time here on Spreaker, so we could jump right into segment 3 and go into overtime.
Alright, let's talk about this Daniel Bryan thing. Let me tell you something about this Daniel Bryan thing. I think he's going to win in 18 seconds, and then I think he's going to try to win again, and then Batista still goes over. Period. End of story. End of discussion. Convince me I'm wrong.
There is no possible way that Triple H's ego would allow him to lose in 18 seconds to anyone.
This is true. I think you're stretching it right there, bro, when you're saying that Triple H will allow 18 seconds.
Let me put it to you this way: Triple H could be beaten and destroyed in the back, blindfolded and handcuffed, then thrown out into the ring, already unconscious, and there's no possible way that he would not kick out for 18. There's no way. There's just no way.
I see it happening exactly the same way as it should. Triple H is already, he does, I'm the game, God damn it. And then he gets in the ring and, he does his shtick, and Daniel Bryan comes out and he yesses his fucking ass off. And he's like waiting, and so then Triple H kisses Stephanie, turns around, eats a knee, 1, 2, 3.
That would actually be fantastic. I don't think that will happen, but it would be the best thing ever.
It would happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, and I'm calling it right now. We could play this back next week when I'm right.
Are you willing to make a piss bet?
I am not making a piss bet over that. No way. I'm not that stupid.
Thank you for that, at least. Yeah, I see the Triple H and Dick Butt qualifier as somewhat of a war. I don't know exactly how hard they're going to put each other, but...
First match on the card?
Yeah, I'm talking about Daniel Bryan versus Triple H.
No. Do you think it's the first match of the night?
Oh, no. It'll probably be second or third match, at least. They will put it in the card far away from the World Heavyweight Championship. I can't see them doing the qualifier and then having the World Championship match right after.
I could see them doing that. To try to, if it's a longer match, I could see them doing that where they put it at the end. So,
I could see them doing it as sort of part of the whole, let's group Daniel Bryan thing, because I really do think that, with all due respect, we talk about Triple H as a performer. He really is, and a great heel when he has a proper storyline to work in. That's not just him, letting loose on everybody. And like I said before, kudos to them for actually such very simple changes, but such effective changes to this whole thing, this whole dynamic of evolution, and who's really the star, and Triple H kind of staking his claim to it just because he can, I guess. But even so, I think it's going to be a really good match between him and Braun. I think it's going to be very much a war. I think it's probably going to be the third or fourth match on the card. The first extended big kind of one. And I do think that Daniel Bryan will win, possibly even by making Triple H tap out. Of course, then we have the matter of the triple threat match, which will go on last as the main event.
I don't know. I just think that... barring something unforeseen happening and one of the two people in the qualifier getting hurt before WrestleMania, I don't see that this match is going to be very much horrific or bad or uninteresting. But if it's actually quite brutal, then our boy Dick Butt isn't going to have much of a chance of winning the title come the championship.
Well, that's kind of how I feel about the main event. As we've talked about it so many times, as monumental as it would be for him as a performer, star, character, next big thing, if you will, for him to win both of these high-profile matches. I think in the back of my mind, there's that little voice telling me that, Bryan will have his moment, so to speak, by beating Triple H, but then he'll come close once again in the main event, but then lose to Batista, who I think will I don't think Orton was retaining. I don't think anybody thinks that, which, I'm sure the wheels are spinning in their minds thinking, well, nobody expects it, we gotta do it now, but...
I see. So apparently a gerbil crawled up Netjester's ass and abducted his microphone and started talking out of it. Okay.
And it's still more entertaining than Netjester himself.
Oof. So what we're doing... So, okay. I for the triple threat match, I mean... I still stand by my opinion that Batista will win the match. He'll steal it from Bryan. Bryan will hit the knee on Orton. Bryan will be tossed out of the ring by Dave, and then he'll be pinned. And we'll be sitting there going, no why, please, no why.
But then, you mentioned something about a little fanboyish speculation. Is that where your ray of hope comes in?
I don't think it'll be tossing him out of the ring. I think it'll be a spear. I think Bryan will hit the knee on Orton. Can we please get a better name than The Knee? That's so fucking lazy.
I'm just calling it Dragon Knee, period.
I actually like that, Dragon Knee.
I thought it was supposed to be the goat.
Well, it's the knee that beat Cena. But anyhow, he'll hit it on Orton, and then he'll stand up, and yes, once Big Dave will spear him, and then pin Orton and win. And everyone will be mad as fuck, and the internet will implode.
I don't know. I mean, yes, certainly there'll be some people, but personally, I'd be alright with that. I would be okay with the fact that they seem to be treating Bryan as a star, and the fact that this is a program that could continue throughout, Extreme Rules and such, and maybe even with Triple H saying, if I can't beat him, I'll join him, in the sense that, if Batista's going to be the guy and he's got the title, then, you know what I mean?
So what you're really saying then, after all the speculation, is aliens. No. I mean, CM Punk Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania.
No, I think what he's saying is that if Triple H loses and then Bryan is in the match, that Triple H would be willing to help.
He's got to hitch his star to somebody else.
Exactly. I thought that's what you were saying.
Okay, I've got the winner here. So, okay, Bryan wins in 18 seconds. Bryan goes to the triple threat match. Bryan loses the triple threat match, not because of Dave, not because of Orton, but because Punk comes back, and now we have Suit Punk versus who wins the title and the Raw after WrestleMania. How about that?
Wait, did you just... I thought I heard you say Fruit Punch?
Suit Punk. Even I don't have that cotton in my head.
Punk.
Fruit Punch, yeah. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Suit Punk.
Fruity around here.
Suit Punk. Calling it now. Suit Punk.
Boot Spunk?
That's disgusting. Can we get to the next game, please?
Yeah, let's
So overall, I think, WrestleMania, I wasn't too excited for it for a lot of weeks, but I think they've done a decent job in the past month or so. And
yeah, they built it up pretty well.
Yeah, a lot of the matches are kind of last minute, like always, but at least they're sort of interesting.
Thank you.
Kind of like last year. I mean, come on, it's the exact opposite of last year. Last year we were super hyped for the card, and then the card itself just completely disappointed because they didn't do anything to build it in the month leading up to it.
Alright, so let's play fair or foul. We've got 5 minutes here. So, Omega BR, no fence riding. Promise?
You're stalling. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Fair or foul. We have a match, or we have to watch a match that includes all 14 divas. Omega BR, fair or foul?
Fair, if only because you know that their combined efforts. It's sort of like if you put a bunch of lotto balls in a machine, if there's only 2 in there, you might have to wait for one to fall out. But when there's 14, you don't have to wait so long.
All right, Gunner, fair or foul?
It's fair. I think it's perfectly fine to get all the girls into one match. At least it's all the girls into one match.
Ned Jester.
Well, it's fair because no one's sitting out the...
All right, and moving on, Omega BR, a match with all 14 divas actually exists. Bonus fair or foul, there's actually only 14 women's wrestlers. Take your
I
pick.
would say even less than that.
Oh, that's right. So 3 women's wrestlers and 11 models.
So I think the winner will be a giant E logo serving as the referee.
Yes.
I don't
agree with that.
All right, then we'll just skip right to Net Jester. Fair or foul?
Match with all 14 divas actually existing? Fair. That there are only 14 women's wrestlers? Foul. You forget Paige, I'll come out of the internet into your house and slap you.
Alrighty, on to the next one here, Omega BR. There's a legitimate chance that Triple H could be COO and WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I do believe that is foul because, unless he's going to a meeting in Texas.
Alright, and Gunner?
Fair, perfectly fair, because bow down to the king. Did you see that video segment with Stephanie making the voice?
Yeah, I
oh my god, that was
marked
the best ever.
I marked out so hard. Net Jester, keep it short.
Foul.
Alrighty, on to the next one here. Omega BR, Jesus doesn't want me for a sunbeam. Fair or foul?
Jesus Christ. Foul.
It's because I'm Jewish. He's little known fact. Jesus is anti-Semitic. Mega BR, tell us the tag teams are relegated to the tag teams are relegated to the pre-show with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Fair or foul?
Oh, it's fair because it's probably the least hyped match on the card, and it has that excitement factor.
All right, and Gunner.
Fair because the Shield should be on the main card and not relegated to the tag team division.
You know what? I completely agree with you here. And finally, Net Jester.
Yeah, you better say it. Fair, and Ensign Pulver's one of the funniest movies ever made.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, of course
Yes.
you know.
No one does.
No one ever knows what Net Jester is talking about. We are 55 seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. So let me just say that we're going to take a very, very short break, and then we will be right back with part 2 of the show and the final segment 4, the Dairy Queen drive-thru.